Hello to viewers, welcome to my channel Science to Technology. In today's show, Camera Tuesday, we're gonna talk about Sony 24 to 70 f2.8 G Master Mark II. So let's dive right into it. Now, it has Mark II in its name, so it's basically an upgrade. Now, 24 to 70 is the base foundation of almost every mirrorless and DSLR, and it's a core of Holy Trinity lens. Now, how important this is? If you ever heard of 18 to 55, you're like, that's odd number. No, that's this, just without the crop factor. Multiply the crop factor, you will get this. That's the whole point. This is starting lens. Everybody uses this. So it is a very important lens segment. Basically, if you are launching a new camera company, get the Holy Trinity working properly. So that's the whole point. Sony is like, we had it, now let's up the ante. So Mark 1 was launched in 2016, so it's kind of old. Be mindful, lenses take much longer to repay their investment. So companies will not, keep launching new lenses every other day. They will launch a lens after, let's say, 10 years or so. So Mark 2 was released July 2022 in market, meaning again it was announced in April, but now you should be able to buy it. Now the price in India is around 2 lakhs, expensive boy, and $2,300 in other markets. So it's an expensive thing, but be mindful, it is a full frame system, it is a G Master, and it is a first party lens. It is gonna be expensive. So that's the upgrade of it. So what are the core features here? Now, core feature, you have to understand Sony's point of view in this. Sony is really good in broadcasting industry. Sony is like, I got this. Broadcasting, I got this. Cinema, somewhat. But here's the deal. There is a video market which Canon has taken over. Now, Sony has successfully starting to actually eat away Canon's share in mirrorless market, but even DSLR market, but not that much in the video market. Like C-series cameras, they are like independent. They're like their own thing. But Sony is starting to release camera bodies, but if they do not have lens for it, it's not gonna stick well. If you don't have good lenses, it's not that important. So what they are doing is focusing on that market, basically releasing a lens that will work perfectly for a photographer and amazingly for a videographer also. That's their key element, and this will explain why the feature set is so unique, so to say. It has manual click and smooth aperture ring. Now, aperture ring used to be there in every lenses back in the old days. How old? Basically, film camera days. So it was a common thing, but with advent of automatic aperture control, it started to fade away. And now many people are like, don't even want it. Many photographers don't want it. It's like an extra step that if they are not used to it, they will not enjoy it. So Sony was like very clever. It's like, set it to A, lock this puppy up, don't think about it. Don't even think about it. It's like it's something that has fancy numbers on it. Don't think about it. That's awesome. That will take care of people who don't want it. But what about people who want it? You unlock it, move from A and enjoy it. Now here's the deal. When you're moving it, it has enough gradation. What if you want smooth flow? What if you want artistic feeling to it? Because you are noticing, you know what, because if you are focusing on someone's eye, like eye or AF is awesome, but here's the deal. If eye is only in focus, but you are noticing like ears are out of focus, you do not enjoy that. And the moment you go, like, try to open that, because aperture moves in complete steps, you'll find that, dude, it's this much. No, you just want this much. That will be in between number. Make it in smooth, enjoy it. So they are taking care of that. So this ring will take care of people who are used to cut and smooth. They will take care of it. And people who don't want it, just lock this puppy, don't think about it. So that's why, and even this is present in their other Mark II lens, 70 to 200. Mark II also has this one. That's why I'm saying, like, Sony is slowly trying to release a lens that will work amazingly for photographers and videographers. Then we come to zoom ring. Now zoom ring, because this is a zoom lens, also has a switch for smooth and tight. I'm genuinely confused, like, do they not have any better words for that? But that's the whole point, smooth and tight. Now, why would you want that? Smooth simply means it's as fast as possible, as low friction as possible. Amazing for photographers who want just like quick snapping. But in video world, everything is focused, done much more deliberately, meaning I'm zooming in. Like, there will be seen, like, you want to spend some frames there, like, you want your video files to like show this person is now zooming in, like there is an intent to it. If you try to do that with a light zoom ring, it's not impossible, especially if you have a motor control on that. It's not impossible, it's just like not that. But again, if you want that deliberate artistic control, tight ring would be far more suitable. It has a switch for it. Don't think too much about it. It has a switch for it. Then we come to close focus. Now this is the part where it's like day and night different compared to every other lens. It can go as close as 21, meaning you can almost zoom in into someone's eye. And this is a like basic macro lens. Is it like 1:1 reproduction of a true macro? No, it's like 3:1. But compared to every other lens in this sort of segment, especially for Sony mount, shut up and take my money. It's like, it's genuinely good. Like, at this point in time, if you are doing some product stacking, product photography, you can achieve some really good result, especially if you pair this puppy up with R mounts. So That's a really good option there. Super fast autofocus. Now, autofocus has two core components, meaning algorithm and lens equipment. Meaning, if you, let's say, a Fujifilm, you are working your ass off to make sure your lens algorithms is working as fast as possible. Your sensor algorithms are working as well. But lens motor is not able to keep up. You will have a scenario where it's like, I have this firmware update, but somebody is using old lens. They're like, dude, is autofocus still crappy? Simply because lens is not able to keep up. Sensor would be like, hey, move 2 units forward. Lens like, okay, I'm moving, move 3 units forward. So it's like, bro, let me finish this sentence, then we'll, process it. It's like, that's why you want it as fast as possible. So super fast requires much more oomph to the motor electronics, so it can accelerate and decelerate as quickly as possible. So that's why they have it. So Sony's because they are coming from broadcast industry, and they have already had good experience with handycams. Sony is old. They know about this. They are really pushing it forward. Their algorithm is exponentially much more faster now. They are saying in hertz, they are working at 200 around 120 hertz of autofocus algorithm, meaning every time their sensor is on focusing, it's capturing the algorithm. So the motors have to be fast enough to keep up with that system. Only then you will have like sticky autofocus. That's why they have done that. Now, because of the requirements of making it light, making it as efficient as possible, they had to sacrifice optical image stabilization, OIS. This puppy does not have OIS. But they have learned enough about their own IBUS system, which they have in almost all full frame, is that they have improved the feedback loop. Now, like, why the heck lens affects with this? Well, every requires a different algorithm. If your lens is communicating with your sensor better, it will work much better rather than having a generic algorithm. 21 like it can have dedicated conversation. It's like, dude, my aperture is this, my lens is this. Like have a specific lookup table for that. So it does have better. Again, Sony is claiming that how better is, people are saying it is genuinely good, not amazingly good, but it's like good stuff. Lens hood also has filter accessory. Again, not really that important for photographers, but videographer who are using polarizer, they are like, shut up and take my money, because you really don't want to be like shooting a video and they're like going in front of the lens and it's like. Now this is a compulsory function for telephoto lens because they have huge hoods, but like even adding this on such a small system, it's a stroke of genius kind of scenario, because you can have polarizer that requires rotation, you could have a variable ND filter requires rotation, you can have other systems, let's say even linear forever, but like if you want to align it, you may want to enjoy this. So these are little things that they are making their lens. They are already taking care of photographer. They are like photographer and videographer. And it also has 2 custom buttons. Like, why 2 custom buttons? Because if you are in landscape, tuk tuk. If you are in telephoto, tuk tuk. Different lens. So telephoto, I'm saying basically portrait. So you have 2 buttons, and both of them can be custom organized up depending on your requirement. What about performance? Well, it's a G Master. What does G Master means? From if you are familiar with camera companies, you know they generally have a elite level of lenses. Generally, Canon's elite lenses are known as red ring lenses. Then you same go to basically Nikon, they have golden ring. So same is G Master here. What does that mean? Just simply means from a mathematical point of view, it should have the resolving power of around 100 megapixel. Meaning, if the sensor behind it goes to that level where it has 100 megapixel, it should be able to resolve properly, not just have a blurry mess. If you are familiar with mobile industry back in the days when Nokia used to be thing, Nokia released like very early on released a camera that was like 64 megapixel, but it was garbage. Why? It did not have lens in front of the sensor that was good enough. So that's one thing. If you do not have lens that is good enough, you're gonna get garbage out of it. If let's say all the lenses are designed for full HD work, you put it in a 4K sensor, it's barely any better, barely. And sometimes it actually looks worse because you are seeing smeary pixels. So many times people are like, dude, we have to upgrade properly everything. So G Master gives you a peace of mind. Meaning, if you buy this today and you are using with 4K, awesome. You buy this and you're like, tomorrow you upgrade to 8K, don't have to worry about it. Tomorrow you upgrade to 16K, still don't worry about it. Above that, yeah, they may have to require something else, but till that point, you don't have to worry about it. That's the whole point. And it lives up to its name. Every test from every test article is like, shut up and take this. Like, do not think about it. Like, there is no other lens that you can get on a Sony that will be like, dude, I'm better than this. So flat out awesome. And autofocus was another thing. They're like, we have had good autofocus. Let me show you flying autofocus. So that's awesome. But there are some compromises. It still has not removed focus breathing. Now, focus breathing is very low, but not zero. And I'm thinking this is done simply because Sony trust basically Sony lenses and Sony bodies. They are integral part. So I think they are trusting the fact that, dude, our cameras have the ability to crop in and you remove focus breathing. So if you have minimal focus breathing, it's not worth that extra $1 million that we have to spend in R&D to get that part out. So maybe they are like, low priority. And then we have parfocal. Now parfocal simply means if you lock on focus something and you zoom in and zoom out, parfocal will keep it locked. It will not drift in and out of focus. Now that's a compulsory requirement for TV broadcast cameras. But here it's not there. Like you can buy Tamron Six Sigma lenses that has parfocal, but it's not in Sony. Now you're like, why? Well, Sony is trusting their autofocus. I mean, autofocus is really good, so it's like, it's a good kind of thing. But from a hardware point of view, that should have been there. At least the focus breathing. I'm like, parfocal, I get it. I'm using autofocus all the time, so I get it. But like a focus breathing, that's like, come on. And given the fact that not all full frame has that crop in, A1 does not have it. So that's the hilarious part about it. They have linear focus pull. Now that focus is drive-by-wire. Nowadays, all lenses have drive-by-wire, unless you are talking about video lenses. Not even video, sorry. Cinema lenses, because cinema lenses have a person whose job is like focus puller. So they, in those sort of scenario, you have that. Now, drive-by-wire gives your lens much more freedom, much more compact, much more efficient. Consequence is sloppy. And Micro Four Third was like a really worst example of that, simply because every company was like, you can rotate the lens. It has an encoder. It will send the feedback, basically pulse, to cameras, and camera is like, move the autofocus element. Awesome. Nobody you remember to lock that puppy, meaning it had acceleration value into it somehow. It's like, meaning if you move it 50 degrees, it's gonna move from here to here. Move same 50 degrees, but move it faster, it's like, who does that? That means it's completely, non-repeatable, meaning you cannot even mark it. Because if you, let's say, you have noticed that any cinema setup, especially in manual focus, they'll have markup, like, and they will do rehearsal. It's like, okay, I'm going to move it till here. Like, they mark character A, scene 2, character C, scene 3, person is here, person is going to kitchen counter. They'll have all that scene done. There is a like giant tape marker there with all that thing. SD. You cannot do that with a drive-by-wire system if it is not linear. If it has acceleration, no focus puller can do it again and again. Because again, sometimes acceleration would be, let's say, half G, it moves somewhere else. Sometimes it will be 1 G, it will move somewhere else. So that was like a minute thing, but really frustrated those people who want to use autofocus, manual focus. So linear focus really makes manual work far more like, enjoyable and actually useful. And one of the best, Sony E-mount 24 to 70 mm. Don't think too much about it. That's the performance aspect of it. So if you buy this puppy and you are having garbage output, either something is broken or you have like, seriously messed up something else. So for whom this lens is made? Well, for people whom size and weight matters a lot, simply because if you are a wedding photographer and you are there, you are holding this camera for, let's say, a whole day, your body really hates every gram at that point in time. So if you're gonna say this puppy is like 200 grams more heavier than this one, you'll say, shut up, take my money, give me this light one. It matters. Not on day 1, but on day 50, it does matter. So this is one of those things that, like, when you're young and like powerful, full, but here's the, we all age. Every photographer ages. So at that point in time, shut up and give me a lighter lens. You will pay for it. This is one thing that Sony knows, that every company knows that. Like, there are bets, multi-million-dollar bets in supercar companies, like, can you save off 2 grams or 10 grams? So it is a difficult thing to do, and it is better in all these pro lenses. This is tangibly better, meaning you do not have to compromise anything if you buy this lens. If you buy the older one, the performance is still good, but not whoa. It is cheaper. It's 1,60,000. If you buy this, it's 2 lakhs. If you buy Tamron variant, it's 80,000, genuinely cheaper, but it's also a very lightweight option. So if you can afford this, you will enjoy it. If you can't, you can go to Tamron. It's the cheapest option, but it is 28 to 75. Now, it is really good for starter lenses simply because it's very light. But again, the quality is also lower. It is 28 mm, meaning is this much. Now, you're like 28 to 24, does not sound much. That's like this to this. It really does matter. The mm to field of view perception is tangibly different in wide angle series compared to telephoto. So telephoto 200 to 300 is this much. But if you go like, let's say, 24 to 20 mm, you will be shocked. Like, it will go from this to this. That's why mm matters. So, and you may be like, why the heck Tamron did this? Sony owns a partial stake in here. So Tamron cannot ever release a lens that is dicto copy of it. However, Sigma can. Sigma can directly say 24 to 70 f2.8 direct. Now, is there a benefit in this? Yes. Tamron is the cheapest, but also has the lowest quality, and not quality will not hurt you that much, but lack of 24 will hurt you that much. So many people will buy Sigma, and Sigma does have better performance, and Sigma was like actually far more better value compared to Mark 1. Now, even That being said, even the fact that Mark 1 is still more expensive than Sigma, many times people will buy Mark 1 simply because if you are buying from a company, it's far easier paperwork. Just like I bought a Sony system, everything is from Sony, batteries are from Sony, flashes are from Sony, lenses are from Sony, everything, even memory card from Sony. You many times you want that. So for that reason, many times people will buy Geo. They do not want to go into other city or work anywhere else or any country and be like, okay, here's the Sigma. Where is the Sigma showroom? Where is the Sony showroom? They're like, dude, Sony, we're done. Go home. So that's why many times people want have every accessories first party only. So you can do that, or you can go to Sigma, which does have some unique advantages. So these are all your 4 options. But if you can afford it, trust me, anybody who's like testing this, like, shut up and take my money. Just shut up and take my money. Don't think too much about it. Just shut up and take my money. So it's really good lenses, and it really shows that Sony is genuinely committed into their whole ecosystem. They're not just like a flash sale. They're like, no, we're gonna make this puppy into the next big thing. So this was my presentation on Sony 24 to 70 mm f2.8 G Master Mark II. Hopefully you have liked it, learned from it. In that case, please click the like button, share it amongst your friends. That will help me a lot. If you didn't like it, didn't enjoy it, I urge you to press dislike twice to show me extra disappointment. Please leave a comment because I do try to reply to all of them. Subscribe, press the bell icon if you're free, and as always, thanks for watching.